Good day and thank you for joining me here on Channel 42. I'm your host, Fox Wild, and this video comes to us from J.D. DeLay. And he talks about something I have spoken out on many times. And finally, after years, it's starting to come around again, and people are starting to agree with what I said, only now I don't sound crazy. A lot of people called me crazy. There was a few that didn't, but most did. Of course, they attack those that have a differing opinion now, don't they? Right, JD?
The World Economic Forum just released a statement saying that COVID-19 was a test of social responsibility. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility. They are just flat out admitting that they punked y'all. Y'all were literally sitting in your cars alone wearing masks through this whole COVID thing. And the entire time, the whole thing was just a test to see exactly how much you would tolerate them stepping on your neck.
He isn't wrong, but here is the read between the lines part, the unspoken pieces. In addition to testing the world and seeing exactly what they could get away with, thanks to Dr. Fauci, they also learned how fast they could spread a virus. Why would they want to know how fast they can spread a virus? Well, consider the first plague of Fauci, a dry run type of test. In this video by JD, they admit it was a test. But why would they test this? JD mentions the fact that they wanted to see how many people they could get to take the vaccine and take the booster. Then more boosters and more boosters after that, and what you would do to protect yourself.
How long can they keep you a prisoner in your own home? How long can they keep you from your ability to be able to feed and support your family? How many boosters can they get you to get? And if you spoke out about it on social media, you were instantly censored and suppressed. No matter how mad that makes you, I promise you, you're not mad enough.
Allow me to take you a bit further into the void of conspiracy theory meets reality. JD touched on some key points. There were many boosters that did nothing. Now that the crisis is over, we can talk about it finally. What good is a booster that does nothing and in many cases actually made people sick? We also know now that human DNA was used in the vaccines and the boosters. This is why many people brag about not being vaccinated. I am one of those. I am one of those that would not take the vaccine because of all the hype about it. And once the government became willing to part with the God of America, the God Almighty Dollar, I knew I chose wisely. Consider this. What if the vaccine was never intended to prevent or cure anything? What if this was all a ruse to get you to take a compound that instead of bolstering your immune system, it was designed to stop your immune system from functioning against the next virus that is released? People of color reacted differently to the virus. The vaccine developed under Donald Trump, once Joe Biden was in office, was the pride and joy of the Democrat Party. History lesson. Which party fought against freeing of the slaves? Which party members founded the Ku Klux Klan? Which party supported the woman who started Planned Parenthood, then later denounced her when it was bad for their side because people knew it was to reduce the number of black babies? Which party fought for segregation and against blacks getting the right to vote? The same party whose members supported Adolf Hitler and the Nazis in World War II, the Democrats. Thank you for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and follow, and turn on those notifications. Have a great one, and as always, bubbles up, Semper Fi, Semper Paratus. Until next time.